Hey everyone, welcome to Meet the Shoe podcast. I'm Sade.
I'm Nina.
And yes, today we're going to talk about a lady named Tiffany Woods. Tiffany
Okay.
Woods and her husband boyfriend, I think it was her
Right.
husband, they were saying,
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Scott.
Uh-huh.
They have three or four other children that were older at the
Mm-hmm.
time that she gave birth to a child. 2 days before Hurricane Katrina happened, she gave birth to a little boy, Emmanuel Scott Jr.
Right.
He was 3 months. He was
Mm-hmm.
3 pounds when he was born.
Mm-hmm.
He was a premature baby at
Okay.
birth. He did have some complications,
Okay.
and they let him come home when he was 5 months. Usually, 5 pounds. Usually, when they 5 pounds, they let you take the child home. But
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Katrina happened, and they had
Mm-hmm.
to flee 300 miles away.
Okay.
So her and her husband and the baby went to Shreveport, Louisiana, and the other children went different households with
Now
family.
this is this is during Hurricane Katrina where all families were like separate. And
Yes,
then they were lost to the point where they sometimes didn't get back with, they would just go with people that they might have knew of, or the little camps and centers that they had for people to stay when they were separate from their family and didn't know if they were alive or dead.
exactly. A lot of
Because
families were dislocated.
there was what year? Do you know what year that was for Hurricane Katrina?
2005, maybe
Was it
2005.
2000? Let's see. Hurricane Katrina. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because there was like, I don't know the exact amount, right? But
Mhm.
there was a lot of people that came up here that Minnesota had offered the housing, money,
Yes,
cars, everything for them to move from Louisiana to Minnesota.
exactly. Yes, they did. So
And so wait, and then remember FEMA? That's when the FEMA was giving out all that money, and a
yes.
lot of it was Atlantic Hurricane Katrina 2005. You were
Yep.
right.
hmm
And it was August 23rd. Yep, yep. And at that time, there was so many like unanswered questions because they wanted to know where all that FEMA money went. They
Yep.
wanted to know at the time where um all the organizations, the government funded programs that were
hmm
offering things at that time for
Right.
people to do relocations and
Mhm.
for the government to take care of them, because um when they made the move from Louisiana to like the Atlanta and to uh what's the name, Dallas, and
Exactly.
another
Minnesota.
just the surrounding states, right?
Yep.
They were talking about how even those camps and those centers, those men
We're
were
abusing.
sexually abusing those young girls.
Yes.
Um, the animals were so distraught; they were lost. Like some of
hmm
those animals were transported to other states, and
hmm
like cats and dogs, right? And
Yes.
they didn't even know how to psychologically deal with them. Like
Wow.
because they can't talk,
Right.
right? So those animals that were traumatized during the Hurricane Katrina, they were sending them off to other cities
hmm
and other states. They was going through it.
Yeah.
So
So she gave birth. She's a young mother. She had kids early. She did get
right,
a lot of help from her parents and aunties
okay,
and stuff like that to help raise her kids, teach her.
uh
But
huh,
everybody's dislocated and she didn't have any family. She was depressed. She was going through a lot. And
right,
all she knows her baby kept on throwing up the baby formula. She'll feed him. She'll throw up.
mm-hmm,
And she ran out of food vouchers. She ran out of WIC, baby formula vouchers. So she thought she just connected. She just thought with that the formula. Uh, she don't have access to that. She
right,
felt that buying organic milk Organic cow's milk would be okay to feed the baby.
Now, where did she get? Now, did they say where she got the organic cow's milk? Because it is Hurricane Katrina. There's no stores open.
Well, she
You know.
left, remember, she went 300 miles to Shreveport, Louisiana. So, yeah, Shreveport, Louisiana. So that's 300 miles away. So that's a whole different jurisdiction. So she was able to store. It wasn't anything going on there. No
Okay.
storms, anything. It was just in New Orleans,
Okay.
and she thought it would be okay to feed the child organic milk,
Okay.
cow's milk. But as the CDC states, it warns against introducing cow's milks to children 12 months old and younger.
Okay.
But by her being so young, she I think it was lack of education, lack of resources. There was a bunch of mitigating factors that she was going through that kind of boggled her thinking, where she thought it'd be okay. And I think that back then it was a lot of people said, "Ooh, organic this," that was a big thing, organic that, and this kind of food is better for your kids, and so forth.
How old was she at the time?
This was 17 years ago.
Okay.
So she's 43 years old right now. So she was what?
Late 25? And so she was born in what, 1980?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So and then what killed me when she was going through trial, she went all the way to trial. Her and her husband went all the way to trial.
Okay. So wait, back up. What was she charged with?
Second-degree murder. Second-degree murder. Which does not see down south. Their sentencing guidelines are so different. Life, a second degree wouldn't oppose life in prison, but they mean actual life in down south, New Orleans, right. Atlanta. Yeah. All that is life is life. You go up for the parole board every so many years, and they decide if they're going to let you out.
Right.
And it's sad that they thought to give her and her husband that much time for a mistake, I think.
Right. So when here's my thing. She's in a southern state. It's during a very distraught time. Mm-hmm. When did they put her in jail, and how did they know that with all that was going on? It seems as though somebody called on her to say that she was given her baby cow's milk, because how would they even know that? Did she make a doctor's appointment? And at the time of Hurricane Katrina, the aftermath of that, their whole system did not come back up into play until, I want to say, 2008, 2010.
Right.
As far as doctor's appointments, grocery stores, yes.
And I think that was the lack thereof too, because the lack thereof, since New Orleans was locked down like that, all the documents, records, everything with her giving birth of this premature baby, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The baby premature. Mm-hmm. They didn't give her all the information that her child was born with a defect. They didn't have time for all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure Louisiana courts did not call. They couldn't get the information. So they were on the assumption she tried to kill her baby, which if she tried to kill her baby, why not let the baby starve?
Right.
Don't feed them nothing.
Right.
And this prosecutor, let me look her up. Her name was Susan Ellis.
Okay.
Who was part of the prosecution in a couple's trial. She disagrees with the release of them. Well, of Tiffany right now. She disagrees. This lady served 17 years in prison. 17 years in prison for a mistake of feeding her child cow's milk. And she says, quote unquote, "I will go to my grave remembering this baby," she said. This baby was the most pitiful thing I have seen in 26 years. Please do not give her an opportunity at release. Do not give her an opportunity to harm another child, because I am convinced that if she can, she will. Girl, you know them down south people.
I mean, it seems like
she has a personal vendetta. to me.
Yeah. She I'm
Angry.
trying to find her up in Louisiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yes. Ricky said she white. Yes. You know, you
yeah.
down, girl. Yes. 17 years ago down south. You think we see
Oh,
something?
she said that she part okay, so it says Louisiana
They
in
gave
Black
her
News.
they gave her the pardon. They
They
did.
gave her the pardon, yeah.
Mhm. Yep. So they
It's under Black Roots, right? And
mm-hmm.
she's they gave her the pardon in the state of Louisiana on
Louisiana.
August the 16th, right?
Yep.
And the prosecutor gave it to her. She had to grant it to her.
She had to because it was a she was the only one unanimous vote against. I think everybody else voted. The pardon, border pardons, everybody else was like, let her out. You know, and nowadays a lot of kids pass away because of malnutrition. You know, certain things going on with them. Especially this child was premature. You know, he had other issues going on as far as where she had the child. She had the child in New Orleans and then
She
relocated to
bought the
Louisiana.
front. Wait a minute. When you said that she had fed the baby cow's milk, but guess what? It was bought with the government voucher.
Mm. Oh wow.
His health continued to decline. I don't
Yeah.
understand that. If she purchased it with the WIC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing, and they what triggered it when I was saying like how did they know that? Who called the police on her or who called child protection?
Right.
It says that because she missed she didn't make a follow-up appointment before she went and picked up her other three kids from the shelter in Shreveport, Louisiana, which was 300 miles away.
Oh.
So they were judging her throughout her whole
Time
situation.
child.
That's
Yeah.
very, very, very sad.
It is
I'm
very
just
sad.
glad that she has her other three children.
Yeah, and
She's
they're
able to
grown.
witness to be a good grandmother and
And
live
they said
her life out.
and
She's
they
still
said,
young.
you know, she they talked on behalf of their mother saying how good of a woman she is. She kept in touch with them, made different beads and I just remember this stuff, you know what I'm saying? You just trying to just communicate with your kids through cards, letters and all this type of stuff. And one of her sons turned out really good. He's in the Navy and he really talked highly of her. I think he's
Okay.
the oldest child of hers. And
Hmm.
it just it's really sad that, you know, the system failed her both ways. And it's like the judicial system is always out to get and lock up black families to me.
So the guy didn't get out yet because it's like he didn't
No.
do anything.
Yeah,
They charged him with being negligent
yes. He got the same amount of time, so I'm not
just
sure.
because he
And
was with her.
with her, yeah. Yeah. So they haven't said anything about Emmanuel yet. I'm not sure what's going on. He's not even nowhere to be found. I tried to look him up on the records and all that. So hopefully he's still, you know.
Mr. Scott is still serving a life sentence and has not applied for clemency
Oh
yet.
my God. You know, and then
Maybe she will do it, and he probably gave up.
yeah, that's the one I was just about to say. It's
He
like when you
gave up. He gave up. He probably felt like, dang, I done already lost my child,
yeah,
and we already went through all this traumatic trauma during Hurricane Katrina.
yeah,
We don't have a place to live. We ain't got a lot. Majority of our family members, like I'm stripped.
yeah.
So what else am I to do?
What else to do?
He gave up in
He
prison.
gave up in prison, and he's probably lost. He might be going through I'm quite sure a lot of mental issues, depression, all the above in there because you will go through a thing, especially being labeled as a baby killer.
Right.
That's
Yes.
one of the worst charges to have. That and being a chomo, which is a sexual predator of a child. And when hey, I done seen girls get taunted, probably hit, done something too, because that was their charges in prison. So I can
Yeah.
imagine the magnitude of the men's facility.
Right. Thinking that he killed his baby.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
cause I'm pretty sure, and it was an accidental death that was upon his baby's mom's. From these are the charges that they're saying, not saying that she did that,
Right.
but
Exactly.
negligent of the mother, because it states that in there, negligent of the mother, and so
But the whole thing, the system set them up and let them down because you already know. For come on, white man, white mother, y'all, everybody on the prosecution team, y'all know a man is barely involved with the baby taking care stage at that young age. He's
right,
not gonna
right,
really take. A lot of men not gonna even try to hold the baby because the baby's so fragile. They'll sit
right,
there and you hold them for them. But as far as handling the baby, a lot majority men don't. It's
right,
very rare. Sometimes they do. They're not changing diapers, especially if it's a girl. They're not gonna change no girl diapers. You know what I'm saying? They'll feed a baby here and there, but I'm talking about full time responsibility. That is on the mother.
right,
And then you sit there and lock the father up too. That's double jeopardy, baby. That's
right.
that's too much.
And then so I wonder, is he was just the father of just the
I,
last baby?
I'm not sure, but I know the last baby for sure.
Okay. So she still has the other three kids, and she still, like I said, can be a grandmother to, her
Their children.
grandkids. She could still live her life.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just bad that I know harsh in prison doing 17 years though. Whew,
Oh, that's a
yeah.
lot of time. Benita said he probably feels like if they can do that to him and his family, there's no point to trust that they will release him. So why even bother? Yep, you're right. Why even
Right.
bother? The
Well,
system
he
is
can
so
bother. He can bother now. He needs to press and put the press down because she's out, and he just was just there.
right. Mm-hmm.
So him having to do cartwheels or to get him out of jail, he should have just been immediately released. I
Yeah, he
feel
should. He
she
should.
automatically got out. Why didn't he automatically get out?
I think it's going to be some paperwork he's going to have to file to bring that up to the board, or he should have a board meeting as well, because a board review. It should be a review for him coming up soon as well, the next month or 3 months. You'll think.
So there was online there was a comment that was made up under this article that says even in normal non-hurricane circumstances, simple ignorance should not result in 17 years in prison,
Right.
especially when medical advice and help is so damn expensive. That's very true. Like
That
why would they want to why that's what I'm saying. What else is the underlining situation? Who called the police? Who got child protect during the trauma of Hurricane Katrina when there was no doctors around, there was no doctor's appointments. Babies had to go over to Texas and be born.
Yeah.
Because that was the next big city, and Jackson, Mississippi, and everything surrounding Louisiana. Everybody had to go to all these other places to
But
come up.
Shreveport is a small racist town. That's
I
my
mean,
grandma.
yeah,
My
but
grandma was born there.
who?
Oh, when the police was called to the house,
Okay,
the police searched and looked around, and
right.
they looked in the refrigerator, and they said there was beer and food in the refrigerator for the adults. So
Okay.
their excuse is if she can have beer and food for them, why she didn't buy baby formula?
I mean, baby formula is 10 times more, I guess, than the beer at the time. Because
Right.
beer is cheap. Beer is the cheapest alcoholic beverage, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Right? That
Mm-hmm.
mean people make fun of people that drink beer, especially
Right.
cheap beer. So anybody knows that.
Right.
Everybody knows that. So
Exactly.
Infamil, what are those cans like about $20?
They're expensive.
Back then
Back
they were
then,
even expensive, right?
yes, it was.
Yeah. I still feel like the people in the comments are upset about the fact that
They did all. They're doing all that time.
Yeah,
It's.
so there was another person that said, not sure that Louisiana prosecutor would have done the same to a white mother in that exact same situation. 70% of the people put in prison for life in Louisiana are black. Yes.
Yes, it
In
is.
a
That
state
is
with a population that is only a
one
third black.
percent.
There is no
Right.
question these prosecutorial decisions are impacted by the very least impact bias, whatever. I can't pronounce that word, bias, right? And this case appears to be an example of that.
Mm-hmm. Those prosecutors need to be ashamed of themselves, Susan. You need to be ashamed of yourself, Miss Ellis.
Yeah,
You need to be
definitely.
very much ashamed of yourself. In fact, it's 17 years later. You still a prosecutor?
Yeah.
You should be done. You should be tired of locking people up. A lot of people burn out, but it looks like she love infringing uh, time on people, and a lot of time on people. Look like, and their judge.
Yeah, and then another issue that Misfit Black Girl says, right? She said, which made a lot of sense. She said, I suspect he would not, in fact, have done the same. I remember at the time hearing about white people finding stuff in closed stores in Louisiana, but then they referred while black people were considered and accused of looting
Yes.
because they were hungry,
Yep.
right? And they needed clothes on their back, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was the very same time when people were trying to cross a bridge to safety were shot at by the police. I don't
Mm-hmm.
recall any of those bystanders doing any time for that, right?
No.
Any of the police doing time for shooting at the people for trying to cross the bridge to make sure that they were free. Why were you shooting at them?
Because they're miserable.
Yeah, it's
Bad
sad.
people. Bad people. Oh, girl.
Well, I'm glad to see that she's out.
Yes. Or she's getting out. If she's not all the way out yet. They may have
Right.
her to go to a halfway house first, just
Yeah.
for her to get adjusted to the community. So she can have hopefully they have somebody, a social worker holding her hand and taking her
Yeah.
around and showing her, where to get a job at here, just getting her close to, because it gets kind of overwhelming when you first get out,
Hmm. Right.
and it's so unfamiliar. And then 17 years for her, I'm quite sure it's very unfamiliar. The areas, everything that grew, buildings are places where you ain't seen, and this is burnt down, or
She's lost
she's
and
lost.
confused. This other person, this is a white woman, Kaylin Womack. She says, and what will the state do about the fact that it made her other three kids orphan by incarcerating them unjustly? Well, like what's going to happen? She's saying what happened to the three kids about, their lives were changed, right?
The
And what will the
children
state,
are victims. They don't understand children. When your parents are incarcerated, they're victims
right?
too.
Oh,
And they don't have
don't tell me about it.
anything for the kids. They don't do anything for them. They don't
No,
have any programs for them unless, grandparents or whoever keeping them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the
right,
kids go to the system
right.
because they don't have
Yeah,
family. And it's sad. So they go through psychological, emotional, all kind of depression, all kind of situations in their mind because their parents, the ones that took care of them, are locked up. They're gone, just
right.
like that.
Yeah, the another white person said that will the overzealous prosecutor be punished?
No,
What-
they think they're right. The prosecutor, the judge, they thought they was right, and right with what they did, and they weren't thinking at all,
Well,
or they thought about it and said, "We don't give a damn. Lock them mutiny
right,
up.
right.
Lock them
I
up."
hate that. I hate that even happened to
That's
her.
right. This is how you.
And
This is
I'm
another
just glad.
form of
I'm
slavery.
so glad that she's free now.
Yeah, I cried. I was like,
Well, they said
wow.
that she was the board. Well, they must. You're right. They take some time
to hold
to
their hand pretty much.
release her, but she should be free by now. It only take like about maybe a week or two, right?
About 2 weeks, maybe a month at max.
Yeah.
Could have been
Tiffany
happy.
Woods. Tiffany Woods, we are praying for you and your family
Yes,
that
and praying that your husband
you
get out
make it
as
out here in
well.
this world, because it's rough, honey.
It is very rough, but I think she'll take control of it. She'll grab the world by the reins and go full force. Sound like she's educated herself while she was in there. And
Right. Looks
learned
like she
how
got a
life is
degree.
real. Yes, so
I see her in a graduate in a cap and a gown. So, and she still looks young.
she looks good, don't she? She's wise.
Yeah, she does.
So she should be okay.
Yeah. All right. So we are celebrating 50 years of hip hop this Friday.
This Friday is going down in Minneapolis, guys. In Minneapolis, we're gonna kick it. A lot of us gonna wear our 90s clothes. I don't know how to dress yet, but
and we're gonna have arcade challenge. Remember Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Centipede, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, that's my favorite.
Yeah, we're gonna dress as our favorite hip hop artist.
Okay, so you remember what was the first game console? I think it was
Atari.
Atari, yes. We had the Atari. And we had
I had one.
Yep, we had the next one, the Atari 2500.
Yep, and then the Nintendo came after that.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Let me show you. I think I got it right here. Hold on.
Okay. Oh my goodness. You got a blast from the past. 80s arcade game. You was heavy into it, Sade.
Girl, I was this game, baby.
I was a Miss Pac-Man player.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Wait, show everybody. Now this is the arcade controller from the 80s, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Turn around, Sade. Yes, look at that, y'all. Wow. Oh my goodness. And you'll go crazy if somebody took your stuff.
Okay. And you only have one button.
One button.
And then here's the
oh my goodness, that's right, Sade. Show them what time it is. Oh yes, I remember. Oh my goodness. I remember that, girl. Oh my God. Oh, yes, them chords. Yes, but and isn't that funny? Isn't that funny that those chords are still the same? They ain't changed them chords. Them same color chords is right there. Yes.
Wow. Joystick. Girl,
what are we competing and playing? You good at which one? You good at?
I am good at Miss Pac-Man.
Me too. Yes. Me and you gonna have to challenge each other.
Yes. And then Donkey Kong was my next. No, Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. Yep. Oh, Bonita said that she had a TV with it built in. Oh my gosh, she was serious about that. She was serious about that game.
Oh, what? Okay. I know that's right. Yes.
Yes,
as soon as I guess as soon as the doors open, we're gonna have performers.
Yep.
And give us
We're starting off with the fashion show.
Oh, yep.
Yep. So we're gonna have Neela Mish, Bossed Up Beauty, and Felony Fashion.
Ooh.
And then also Traumatized. It's a young clothing brand by Sharon. Okay. And he has a line called Traumatized. He's really big on TikTok.
Okay, Sharon.
And then we'll have right after that, we'll probably have the challenge, the arcade. Well, the arcade challenge will go on throughout the night.
Okay.
No one has checked in yet. So if y'all's out there for the TikTok challenge, if there's two people that want to do the TikTok challenge, the dance challenge against each other, there's a prize for that. Yes. And then we also have a prize, and all these have prizes. There's a prize to each winner, right? And then we have pass the mic, whoever wins, pass the mic, right?
Uh-huh.
Whoever wins that, then we have the comedy show. We have a lot of things going on in them little bit of hours,
every
right?
Hour we're going to try to introduce different things every hour on top of the hour, because we got to get it through.
Yep. And then we have a little bit of comedy. We have Do Nasty. He's gonna host.
Yeah.
Right? He's the big comedian here in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And then we have Miss Chocolate.
Yes.
And then we have someone that he considers himself like a rapping comedian, right? His name is Tangy. We're
Okay.
going to have him on. And then at the end of the night, we're going to have performers. They're going to come and hit the stage with their biggest song, a lot of local talent. So we got a lot of good things going on Friday.
Yeah, and hey, get y'all tickets if y'all need tickets. Me and Nina has them. Just inbox us on our Facebook or Instagram. Or
Right.
catch us in the street. Or you can pay at the door too. If you decide to come to last minute, like let me go up in here. We're gonna be there.
It'll be $10 more at the door now.
Yes, $10 more. And we're gonna have some good food too, girl.
Yes, we are. Free food. Catering by Leroy's.
Catering by Leroy's.
And hopefully Miss Tamika Ross.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Good but definitely we'll have some catered food there.
I'm food and drinks.
Right. Definitely.
While y'all TikTok and I'll be eating.
Okay.
Ma, don't be talking mess now, y'all. I hear you already.
Okay.
Yes. So, guys, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Friday night, this Friday, the 25th, at the 50th Hip Hop Party. If not, next week. And don't forget to sponsor our sponsors.
Yep, hit our sponsors. We ain't gonna shout them out today. Y'all know it. We say it every week. They're in the comments. They're in the description. Hit up our sponsors. We greatly appreciate it. That's what keeps our lights on, right?
Yes, that's what keeps us rolling and on this podcast.
That's right.
Info, let y'all know what's going on in the streets, behind the bars, and all that type of stuff. So get us up, baby.